come out before any action essentially is taken. Right now, the army hasn't been given the further orders to actually go inside the Dera headquarters. Remember, because this is the road that stretches all the way up to the Dera headquarters. This is about 5 to 8 kilometers it takes you to reach the main headquarters, where you have almost all amenities inside. You have a petrol pump, you have an auditorium, everything is inside, and that's where the Dera followers are right now camping. Roughly about 4 lakh followers still inside, and that becomes to the major bone of contention right now as to how would they really be tackling all those followers who are inside, because remember, they are not just the ones with lathis, but they are well armed, and that's what eyewitnesses have also corroborated, saying that these Dera followers, they have knives with them, and clearly that is the reason why perhaps you're seeing the civil administration taking cautionary measures right now, so that the situation doesn't go out of hand. Right now, as you can see, more dignitaries going in after the GOC of the Indian Army, who had gone in a while ago. He's also briefed the media to give us a sense of what's actually happening inside. He's made it very, very clear that the army right now only assisting the local administration. The local administration right now, right at that particular spot where you are seeing that they are still trying to convince the Dera followers to leave peacefully rather than creating any ruckus, because this was the place where all the action was actually taking place soon after the verdict, when you saw the Dera followers, the goons who had basically come here, and there were clashes that were taking place with the local police, and this is the very place where those clashes actually took place. And right now we're given to understand that the situation, they're trying to bring it under control, but certainly situation still remains volatile, given the fact that Dera followers are on both sides of this particular road.
All right, Shavan Sen now joining us live as well. Shavan, over the last couple of hours, we've been seeing that civil administration has entered the Dera premises. One column of the army, as you reported, has also gone in, while another continues to be on standby. Do you sense that they could take over the Dera anytime soon now?
Well, Shivani, we'll certainly have to wait for that, because that would only happen if the final orders really come in from the state government. Even as we speak, we have been told that a meeting is actually underway in the mini secretariat, and only after that further orders would really come in. That's what the commandant of the force had to say just a while ago. Also, if I can give you a sense of what's actually happening behind me right now, this straight down the road is where the barricade is. We have seen some amount of movement actually taking place of the Indian Army as well as the local police. What they're doing right now is actually speaking to the locals there, also the Dera followers who are present, because remember, there were certain inputs that perhaps some of the locals have got stuck inside. So that's the reason why the army is making that announcement that if anyone is stuck, they can easily walk out, they can come out, and they can actually move peacefully out of this particular area. As far as the Dera followers are concerned, the focus still remains, because they have been very adamant. Most of them are on both sides of the road. There are certain houses which have been owned by the Dera followers itself. So they have been quite adamant. They haven't really come out as yet, and that's the reason why you've not really seen some sort of a concrete action really taking place inside right now. The focus still remains that they are announcing, they're asking people to leave as soon as possible, leave peacefully, and that's the message that the army as well as the local administration wants to send across.
Right. Remember, this continues to be a very important location. As many as 4 lakh supporters and people who are just associated with the Dera, Shavan, as you've been reporting, continue to be inside that perimeter. Orders are still being awaited, but politically speaking, Shavan, if they do take over the Dera, if they do evacuate all of the followers, first of all, it's a logistical nightmare, the kind of numbers that exist. And also politically, it will be a huge statement, isn't it? Because so far, the government has been blamed for going soft on the Dera, and especially Baba Ram Rahim.
Well, the government certainly does not have many options, Shivani. The fact is that the High Court has made it very clear that the properties of the Dera chief, that needs to be attached, and that's a huge property. Roughly about 700 acres is what we are given to understand is what the Dera chief actually owns. Inside that, you have all amenities that you can name, and you would actually find it. So that would be worth crores, and that is something that an empire perhaps that the Dera chief actually was running. Not just here, there have been several Deras across the country and also abroad, because we have also seen posters inside, Shivani, where the kind of wishes that were really coming in from a Singapore block of the Dera chief. So that gives you a sense perhaps the spread that the Dera chief had and the followers that he had, not just in India but perhaps abroad, is what we are given to understand. And the properties also that he has, because one would say that he's almost got an empire and he was running that the empire. Now, for the government, it would certainly be a major sort of a statement if they actually really crack down as soon as possible. Because remember, all this while, what the government has given, the image that the government has given is that they've been dragging their feet. They did not want to really act on it. That was quite clear, because the fact is that a day before the verdict, this entire stretch, you had only some patrol vans really coming in, but beyond that, no real action was taken. Till the last moment, this was the very place where the barricade was laid by the administration. But straight down is where the Dera headquarters is. So what was the government really doing? Because the entire road had Dera followers on both sides. They all had lathis. That's the last image I remember very clearly, because I did step out of this very area around 2 o'clock yesterday, and at that point in time, Shivani, can tell you, both the areas had these young boys with lathis, and this was the last place till where the police was present. There was no police presence inside that entire area. So the question one would ask is that what were they really waiting for? Why did they really leave it to the Dera followers, and they were waiting for them to actually come all the way till here, and the clashes would actually take place? Because beyond this, it almost looked like that it was a different world, and the and perhaps the local administration had no jurisdiction, because that was the kind of activity, that was the kind of response perhaps we saw from the government itself. So the question that many would ask, why did they really not go in even before the verdict came in? There should have been some amount of police presence inside this entire area, but not one single police officer was inside that particular area when we actually left around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just hours before the verdict really came in.
All right, Shravan, appreciate you bringing us live coverage from outside the Dera headquarters in Sirsa, where action is imminent. Shaman, we'll keep coming back to you for more. We also spoke to Jawahar. We also spoke to many political people from BJP Haryana, and also experts who are speaking on this political development. Remember, the state government continues to be under attack for its lackadaisical attitude, in fact, almost being complicit as far as the violence is concerned. Listen in.
You see, when you mix politics with law and order, then this is what happens. The BJP government was handling with kid gloves the protesters. The basic principle in law and order is that you should not allow large number of people to gather at a place. Prevent them from reaching the flashpoint. In spite of the High Court's warnings time and again, there was no effort to prevent the crowds from gathering.
परंतु वहाँ लोग आए, इसके लिए जहाँ तक जिन चीज़ों का हम कर सकते थे वो हमने प्रयास किया, उसको किया भी। परंतु 5-6 दिन पहले ही लोग आने शुरू हो गए। जो पंचकुला है वो हिमाचल, चंडीगढ़ और पंजाब तीनों के आने जाने का रास्ता भी है। अगर किसी को यमुनानगर से पंजाब जाना है तो वो भी पंचकुला का इस्तेमाल करता है। कोई हिमाचल से किसी अन्य क्षेत्र में जाना था वो भी पंचकुला क्रॉस करता है। तो पंचकुला को अनेकों स्थान पे आने जाने के लिए 3 अदर स्टेट भी क्रॉस करते हैं। उसके नाते हमने ये सावधानी बरती कि जो लोग आ जा रहे हैं उनके पास कोई हथियार ना हो, इस तरह का प्रयास किया। बाद में वो लोग धीरे धीरे अब मालूम नहीं वो अपने स्थानों पर छुपे थे या किसी रिलेटिव के यहाँ छुपे थे, वो सब बाद में इन्वेस्टिगेशन का विषय। और उसके बाद ये हुआ कि एक समय बाद वहाँ ठीक ठाक संख्या में लोग इकट्ठे हो गए, परंतु हमारा प्रयास ये था कि वहाँ चाहे न्यायालय है जहाँ पर ये फैसला आना था, चाहे बाबा को जहाँ जाना था उस स्थान को लेकर, बाकी और जो स्थान है उसको हमने बचा के रखा। वहाँ प्रॉपर बैरिकेड्स हुई। बाकी पंचकुला लगभग एक बहुत बड़ा सफर रास्ता आर पार करने का था, उसके नाते वहाँ कुछ लोग रहे, परंतु हमने सख्त निर्णय लिए। हमने किसी को कानून और का हमने बड़ा स्पष्ट कहा था, रात को उनको खाली कराने का प्रयास किया, कुछ लोग वहाँ से निकले भी। हमने बड़ा स्पष्ट कहा कि जो भी कानून अपने हाथ में लेगा उस पर सख्त कार्रवाई करेंगे, तो हमने सख्त कार्रवाई भी की। हमने वो नहीं होने दिया जो 1984 में हुआ कि 5000 लोगों का कत्लेआम हो गया। ना कोई पुलिस ने लाठी डंडे चलाए, ना कोई गोलियां चलाई, ना सेना का इस्तेमाल किया गया। हमारे यहाँ पुलिस का, अर्धसैनिक बलों का और सेना का सब तरह का इस्तेमाल किया गया।
सर, ये जो 30 जन करीबन उनकी जान गई सर, और अभी जो सिचुएशन का हालत इतना बिगड़ गया सर, इसके वजह से सुनने में आ रहा है कि शायद कैबिनेट में एक रीशफल होगी। मनोहर लाल खट्टर जी के रेजिग्नेशन की भी दावी बहुत सारे लोग कर रहे हैं, तो इस मामले में आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
उनके इस्तीफे का कहीं कोई प्रश्न ही नहीं उठ रहा है, ना कहीं ऐसी कोई चर्चा है। ये कुछ लोगों की शरारतपूर्ण चर्चा हो सकती है, वो विपक्ष के लोग हैं जो मैं सोशल मीडिया पे देख रहा हूँ, आइडेंटिफाई लोग हैं जो ऐसी मिनट में कोई ना कोई खबरें बनाकर चलाते हैं, जिन्होंने इसमें भी भूमिका उनकी ठीक नहीं रही। उस पर शायद जो भी लोग हैं जिनका ये काम है वो उस पर अपना काम करेंगे। ये सरकार ऐसी है। मैं फिर आपको उदाहरण से बता रहा हूँ, मैं पुरानी चीजों पे नहीं जाता, परंतु एक तरफ ये देखिए कि 1984 में 5000 सिखों का कत्लेआम होता है, कहीं एक लाठी गोली नहीं चलती, और उस समय कत्लेआम के ऊपर जो देश के प्रधानमंत्री बनते हैं वो कहते हैं कि बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है तो हलचल होती है, भूमि हिलती है। यहाँ तो उन्होंने सरकारी संपत्तियों को नुकसान पहुंचाया, और जैसे ही उन्होंने नुकसान पहुंचाना शुरू किया, पुलिस ने, अर्धसैनिक बलों ने और बाकी जितने और फोर्स थी उन्होंने अपना काम किया। आज पूरे हरियाणा में शांति है, सब चीजें ठीक चल रही हैं।
Let's get you some more updates that we're tracking as far as this massive build-up of security forces and tension prevailing in Haryana and other parts is concerned. Army took control of the situation in Sirsa. At least 2 companies are present there. Army also conducted flag march in Dera Bastion to maintain law and order situation. Security forces sealed 36 Dera ashrams. Army is also present around the premises and have asked Dera supporters to vacate the locations. Punjab and Haryana High Court has pulled up Haryana Chief Minister over the mishandling of the situation in the state. High Court asked if the state allowed situation to worsen for political gain.